The Aldi yarn event is back, and unfortunately this event is cursed for me because every time it happens I'm ill. But of course that was not going to stop me from running to my local shop after work. As you could see, I was in desperate need of fuel, but because it was already 7 PM I was scared everything would be gone, so I decided I'm gonna go to Aldi first. I got there as quickly as I could and speed walked my way to the baskets because we all know that I'm going to need one. I zoomed myself and my basket down the aisles and tried my very best not to get distracted by the super cute Halloween stuff that they have. When I first walked into the shop, I thought that these were the yarn spinners for a second. Finally, I found what I was looking for, the yarn, and I was very relieved to see a lot of it. First, they had this rainbow and ombre yarn. I absolutely loved all of these different colours. You could definitely use this yarn to make some really fun projects. I ended up buying 2 skeins in brown and cream. Moving on, they had this Aran weight acrylic yarn in lots of different colours. I was really looking forward to these, so I'm so glad they had them in stock. They have yarn balls and yarn spinners. One of the biggest thing on my list for today was to try and get a yarn spinner. It's something that I've been definitely needing, and this price is very good. It just had to be the first thing in my basket. They had lots of different knitting needles and crochet hooks in different sizes. I didn't get any of these, so I'd be interested if any of you did to hear about the quality. Like the Aran, they had lots of different colours in DK acrylic. And this next yarn type I had never seen in Aldi before. It's macrame yarn, and they had it in a lovely cream colour, as well as a blue, yellow and reddish brown. I decided to grab a couple of skeins in cream, and then I decided that it wasn't enough and grabbed one more just in case. The last yarn that they had at my Aldi was this chunky yarn. And watching this back, I'm really wishing that I got some, so I'll have to put it on my list for next year. Something that I really like about these Aldi yarns is that they all come with a pattern, which I think would be so useful for a beginner, because it can also help you buy the right amount of yarn and give you ideas of what to make. The one thing that they didn't have at my local shop was the baby yarn, and that was the thing that I was most looking forward to, and I was so ready to stock up. And I absolutely would have driven to a different shop if I wasn't ill. At this point I gave up on the baby yarn because I looked everywhere and it was nowhere to be found. So I checked out with a much smaller haul than I thought. And here are all the prices.
I bet you're wondering, did you just buy the colours that would match your outfit? And the answer is yes.
I safely strapped in my yarn for the journey home. And this is the treatment that my groceries got in the back, so you can really tell what my priorities are. My delusional self returned a couple of days later to check for baby yarn, and they had actually moved the yarn section, so I had a tiny bit of hope. But the only difference was less yarn and lots of mess. There was even a piece of broken yarn ball sitting there, and I do not know how that happened. To distract myself from being sad about the baby yarn, I checked out these autumn craft crochet kits, which looked super cute. They had a mushroom, a pumpkin and a ghost. I was very glad that I picked up the yarn spinner because these were all gone, and it had only been a few days. I didn't buy anything else, I just went home heartbroken about the baby yarn. And now it's time for the haul. The rainbow yarn is 100 grams and comes with a crochet glove pattern, which you only need 1 skein for. I think anything made in rainbow yarn looks incredible, and this yarn is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I'm not sure what I'm going to crochet or knit with it yet, but since I got 2 skeins I could make a bigger project than gloves. If you have any ideas, please let me know. Next we have my yarn spinner, or as they call it, wooden spinning yarn holder. And this is where I realised that mine is actually broken. This might be my first time having a yarn spinner, but even I can tell that it's not supposed to move like that. So I'm just gonna ignore that problem until I unbox it. The macrame yarns are 200 grams each, and they feel very hefty. I have no idea what I'm going to make, I just know that I loved the cream colour and the texture and weight of the yarn. I was thinking about maybe some plant hangers or a thick bag. And luckily I have a lot of yarn to work with. Now it's time to see what is wrong with my yarn spinner. As you can see, these two parts are separated, and if you look really closely, you can see some dried kind of glue. And at this point I realised how it might have broke. I think that loud banging sound was my poor yarn spinner crashing to the ground. Hopefully it's something that my hot glue gun can fix, and I'll have to update you on whether that works or not. Or maybe I'm just crazy and this is how they're supposed to work, but I very much doubt that. In case you were curious, these are the dimensions. Overall, I'm really happy with my haul, minus the lack of baby yarn, which would have definitely added a bit more colour. But let me know in the comments if you got any yarn from Aldi, and also let me know if you liked it. Here's my attempt of using the yarn spinner, and I'm actually using some baby yarn that I got in January at the last Aldi event, and this is my way of pretending that I got some this time. As you can see, it's not super smooth. I think it's either because my spinner is a little bit broken, or the way I caked the yarn was just not it. Or maybe I just have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm very sorry if you find this cursed to watch. I wanted to show you what I missed out on, and just to give a reminder that you can see all of the yarn and different crafting tools on the Aldi website, and you can actually see this before the event starts. As you can see, there are all the different types of yarn and tools that we saw in the shop. Everything other than the baby yarn. And I just wanted to take a second to show you what I missed out on, and also give a full picture of what you can expect to find or get at these events. Here are the product details. I heard on social media that this time the baby yarn is particularly soft, which definitely did not help, and something that also did not help was the range of colours. I really enjoyed working with the baby yarn that I got from Aldi in January. I even reviewed it and made a video comparing it to another chenille yarn. So I was really looking forward to being able to stock up on all of these different colours. I'll stop complaining now, but hopefully I can get some in January. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on my chaotic Aldi yarn shopping trip. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see how it goes for me in the January yarn event. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.